Welcome to what I'm calling the WBR. Hello everyone, welcome back to A Fictional Escapist. My name is Kris, and today's video is, I don't really know what today's video is going to be. It is a TBR of sorts, but I'm feeling very resistant to planning. I don't even want an MBR because I don't know. So we're going to call this one the WBR, which is a whatever be read in the month. So this video is very low commitment in terms of things that may or may not be read coming into the month of March. In February, my wife and I and a friend of ours decided that we were over the delays and the waiting and the excuses from the building companies because it's just not happening at the moment and we're already in Perth. So we made the decision to move at the beginning of January, and that was absolutely the right decision. We had overstayed our welcome where we were in Brisbane, and we've been waiting for over 12 months, so we just wanted to get here. And we did, and we've been lucky enough to stay with some friends of ours who have been very hospitable, but they have family coming to stay with them at the end of March, early April. So I think they are now delayed a little bit, so they'll be sort of mid-April coming in, which means we needed to be out of this house by mid-April, and we'd always planned on doing that. But the building company who my friend is building with keeps delaying and delaying and delaying, and we just don't trust them to be ready in time. So we sort of went, well, let's buy a house. So for a couple of weeks in the month of February, every spare second was sort of spent looking at houses, going to finding houses online, and because the market is so insane, they were just being snapped up. So everything sort of aligned very quickly, even though it was a couple of weeks of just insanity for us. The friend who was coming in with us to share this house has flew in from her fly in, fly out job. She was here for like 3 days. In that 3 days, we found a house we loved. We put an offer on it and it got accepted. So it's been a wild ride, but at the end of it, we have a house. So Rachel and I will be moving out of this place and into our own house, thankfully, at the beginning of April. So it is probably going to be another month of a little bit of insanity while we find things that we need and we coordinate all the paperwork and the things that come with buying a house. And yeah, so very exciting that Rachel and I are now in the property market. Fantastic for us, but as a result, the reading has really fallen off the bandwagon or radar or whatever. My brain's not working. So welcome to the Whatever BR. In this video, I'm going to be putting out a bunch of books that I would like to read, but I have no idea what I'm actually going to get to. I've got two definites on this list. One is a buddy read and one is an arc. Actually, I've got three definites because I do have a beta read that I'm also doing, but I can't share covers for that one yet. Although, let me tell you, it is insane and you're going to love it when you see it. So let's get on with those three that I'm definitely going to be reading. The first one kicking off will probably be the end of February, coming into the start of March, is going to be Soul Cage by Luke Schultz. So this book has gone back and forth in editing stages, and we are now ready for the beta reader, and I will be doing that beta read for him. I'm very much looking forward to it. This is a different flavor of fantasy by Mr. Luke Schultz. This is insanity in fantasy form, is what I've been told, but it deals with a lot of very important topics. We've got representation there of mental health, of autism, of addiction. There's a lot in there. So I'll be trying my hand at maybe doing a bit of sensitivity reading as well with this one, but mainly on the beta side of things. So this may be done by the time March comes around, or it may be early March. The second thing I'll definitely be getting to in the month of March is The Blood Curse by Jessica A. McMinn. This is the Gardens of War and Wasteland book number 2 and the follow-up to The Ruptured Sky. I loved The Ruptured Sky last year. I know a few influences that have come in for this second book, and I'm very excited to get to it. I'll probably be reading this one pretty early because Jessica A. McMinn's writing is so captivating, and I really enjoyed, like I said, The Ruptured Sky, so this may be an easy one for my brain to be able to jump into and just have fun. The Ruptured Sky was such a fun fantasy romp, and I'm hoping that there's more of this, although I hear there's a little bit of spice in the second book, so we'll see what happens there. And the third definite that I'll be reading is for a new long-form discussion series on this channel, which may be bi-monthly, it may be quarterly, and it's going to be co-hosted by Luke over at Luke's Book Nook. I'll have his channel linked down below. This is going to be the series starters. So Luke and I put a whole bunch of series and standalones on a list that we both want to get to, but we haven't gotten to in a while. And Luke's book 1, which is the Gunmetal Gods by Zamil Akhtar. So we'll be reading that one in the month of March and discussing it with whoever wants to discuss it over in April. I think we've got like 6 people coming in to have a chat about this book, potentially, depending on how time zones work, because we are all over the world. So whoever can get there when the time comes will be coming to chat about this live. But Luke and I will be hosting that. Now, I've read Gunmetal Gods before. I didn't love it. I think I've said this before. The parts I loved about the book, I adored, but I didn't care about one of the characters. So this time I am going to be reading it physically rather than audio to see if I can pick up maybe some more. But I know that there's enough in there that I enjoyed that hopefully I will enjoy it more the second time around. But if not, it will make for an interesting discussion because most of the people I've talked to have loved that book. So then we come to the whatever, the whatever section of the WBR. And a lot of this is going to be backfill. I read very little in the month of February. I'm still going on Bone Hunters. It has been 4 weeks. I'm going to finish it today. I'm manifesting that out into the world. But yeah, I just haven't read a whole lot. I beta read something and Bone Hunters, and then a couple of books I finished very early in the month. So, you know, hopefully we get more read this month. But the audio book that I'm hoping to get to is The Shadowgate by L.L. McRae. This is book 2 in the Dragon Spirit series. This was not on my radar for this early in the year, but I lent the friend who's buying the house with us, one of my best friends in the world, The Iron Crown, and she loved it and wants to read The Shadowgate together. So she'll be reading it on her Kindle and I will be reading it via audio. So we're hoping to get that one done in the month of March because she's not going to wait for me forever. So that will probably be happening this month. Then we've got a couple of backlist books, well, ones that I was going to read in February that I didn't get to, and I'm hoping to churn out some of these now that hopefully I've got more time, that I'm not going and looking at houses. That is Terra Nullius Slipspace, or Slipspace Terra Nullius by Zachary Forbes. I'm very much looking forward to that one. I read the first 3 pages and my brain just couldn't quite connect with it. So that's nothing on the book. That's I was reading Malazan at the same time and I went, you know what? I have to finish Malazan before I do anything else. So I put that one to the side and that will hopefully be pretty early in the month as well. I still want to read Help, My Dog is the Chosen One by Ronit J. I think it sounds fantastic and a really light read that I could probably use right now after Malazan and because my brain is so full. And also Magic and Mead by Rachel Parisi. I'm glad that I put that on the screen beforehand. This is another one that just sounds very charming. So this is a queer, I think it's a sapphic, cozy mystery fantasy, and I'm very much looking forward to that. Something else that I will potentially pick up if the arc comes in, and a book that is in one of my most anticipated books of the year is The Crimson Court. This is by Brendan Noble. I believe it's coming out April 23rd. But if the arc drops in March, I will very likely read that. A couple of other things just to maybe get some series out of the way, or not out of the way, that's not the word that, you know what I mean. You know what I mean. I want to finish some series. Dragon Your Bones, A Forging of Age duology, book number 2. I would love to get to that. I would like to pick up the next book in the Interloper trilogy by Stephen William Hanna. So I read Icebreaker. I'd like to read book 2. I'm not sure what book 2 is called. I'll put it on the screen over here. And then I have another couple of books that I wouldn't mind chucking in for some series starters that I would like to get to this year. One is going to be Daughter of the Beast by E.C. Greaves, and another one is going to be, it's by Ryan Beatty, but I'm going to need to look it up. Okay, so another book that's on my radar is Oath of Bones by Ryan Beatty. It is the Crimson Church book number 1. So I may pick that up. I'm not sure. I could also pick up the next one from the Herman Stuernagel. I feel like I always pronounce Herman's name wrong. So I read Eclipse. I think the next one is Resurgence or Chimera. Those are books 2 and 3. I may pick up the next one on that because that was another easy read and I have it. I may pick up Threshold of the Universe by T.A. Bruno. I think you get the point. I have no idea what I'm reading in the month of March, except outside of those few definites, so maybe 4 or 5 of the definites in there. I'm hoping to read 10 books. Fingers crossed. Put that out into the universe, everyone. 10 books is what I would like to read in the month of March, but we'll see how we go. Do you have better plans than I do? Let me know what you're planning on picking up in the comments down below. If you like the content, give one of those. And if you want to see more of it, click subscribe at your will, and I will catch you in the next video. Ciao.